These are my shooting supplies. So I have a table, I have those T-posts, and I have the impact thing, I have my gun, and I have a couple of metal targets. All I needed was some cheap pop. Look over here, this was at the Real Canadian Superstore. This was $1.25 per bottle, believe it or not. But when I started checking out, for each bottle they also charged 5 cents deposit. No, 5 cents recycling, and then 5 cents deposit. 20 cents deposit, sorry. So instead of 1.25, it was 1.50. But still okay. And I got some water, I got some snacks, which is everything seasoned cashews. Let's go. I was low on gas, so I bought 20 liters. And the good news finally is that our gas prices went down by about 20 cents per liter. Like, they were cheap. Usually Alberta is pretty cheap, but then it jumped up to like $1.65 for regular gas. So it became expensive to drive around. But now it's down to $1.45. I think a long time ago it was $1.25 probably. Still a bit higher, but $1.45 really, I can live with that one. And so now I have one gun left. Yeah, I sold my Ruger a while back. I don't really need two guns, and I kept the shotgun for two reasons. No, for three reasons. Reason one, it's semi-auto, so 6 can hold 5, and then you can add one more, so 6 cartridges. And semi-auto is better. A Ruger, of course, was a bolt action rifle. Second, it was pretty cheap. I think when I was buying it, it was like 350 bucks or something like that. So now I check online, it's 600 something. This Charles Daly 12 gauge, like a Turkish clone of Benelli M4. It looks exactly like Benelli. The same telescopic stock, you will see. Well, you probably already saw it. But pretty good gun, you know. And so reason two I did not sell it is because it's cheap. So, you know, if you can buy it new for $600, people probably won't pay like more like $300 or $250, you know. So it's just, it's not worth it. Whereas Ruger, I think, has sold for $900 or $1,000. You know, that's some serious money. And reason three why I kept the 12 gauge shotgun is because it's actually more fun to shoot than the Ruger for me, because you have a choice of load, right? You can shoot buckshot, birdshot, and you can shoot slugs, which pretty much turn your shotgun into a small rifle, right? Of course it doesn't shoot as far, but I'm just shooting for fun, just you know, shooting targets. Yeah, that guy is flying, I don't know, 125, 130. Speed limit here is 100. I'm not in a rush. So heading over to the public land again. It's been probably, I don't know, I don't remember last time. So now it's September. I think I was there maybe in winter, like in December, October last year. So it's been a while. And a friend of mine gave me a good idea. He says, don't work every day, because that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months. Every day I would be either driving the truck at work and then doing Uber and Lyft, or on the weekend I'm doing Uber and Lyft. Like yesterday I did I drove basically a taxi, I call it, from 8:30 to 5:30, and the first passenger I did not get until 9. So I was sitting at home, you know, playing with my computer, and I got the ride offer at 9 o'clock, so that's what I consider. I started at 9, so 9 to 5:30, and then I took 2 breaks, I think, like half an hour each. So this is 3 plus 5, 8, 8:30, 7.5. So let's say I worked 7.5 hours, most of which was well, you either drive or you either drive or you don't drive, like that guy. Yeah, the car brakes by itself. It's because it can feel the car in the front. But basically this lane is just a disaster, and we have to increase the speed. So nobody drives 100 kilometers. Like, people drive either 90 because they're clueless about driving, or they drive like that guy, that truck that passed me at 1:30 asking for a ticket. And so yeah, I was working pretty much every day, and it felt exhausting, and I still wasn't making too much money because, you know, Uber is cheap. But it's fun. I met quite a few characters yesterday, and I started saying about that on the yesterday's video, and I got cut off. But what I was trying to say about one couple, I had a couple that I drove for 30 or 35 kilometers. Like, it was a pretty long ride. The entire time these guys did not say a single word to each other, and they sat far apart. The guy sat on the right side, the girl sat on the left side, and all I could hear was clicking of the phones. Maybe they were texting each other, I don't know, but it looks like there was a big argument, and it felt uncomfortable, you know? Like, there was so much hostility in the air, you know? Even the guy looked at me like I was the enemy, like I said. All I said was, is this for, I think the girl's name was Michelle, I think. I said, you know, when they open the door, I always confirm. I said, for Michelle, right? Yeah. I think that's the only word he told me, he said. And then when they stepped out, the girl was much nicer. She said, unbelievable. Why the heck are you driving in the middle lane, you idiot? It's a big hill, so you should be in the right lane, not the middle lane, because he's so slow. No, yeah, I cannot use cruise control here. Screw this. I was trying to use the cruise control, right? It's impossible. Sunday. Yeah, usually Sunday is not busy. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I did yesterday. So made gross, of course. Like, people always ask me the stupid question, you know, when I talk to guys at work. I said, hey, I was doing Uber yesterday, I made, and I give them the number, and they always ask me, is that in your pocket, net? Of course not. Why would I calculate for you, you know, the gas and the maintenance? I said, I made, so I was paid, like yesterday, from 9 to 5:30. I made 200 bucks. It was like 197. But people always assume that if you say you made money, they assume that's your real income. Like, people have no clue about basically how the gig economy works. And then of course there's gonna be taxes, and there's GST, sales tax, included there. So I have to pay, like, I already paid twice. I think it was like 20 bucks a month roughly, but it's included in that $200 that I made yesterday. So anyway, so yeah, so the guy, my friend, says just at least one day a week, you know, go and relax, do something for yourself, go, you know, hiking, biking, you know, stuff like that. And so, since it's been a while since I did any shooting, and I do enjoy it, I decided, you know, instead of hiking and biking, I decided to do what I enjoy doing and have some fun, pursue one of my hobbies. And as I get closer to the mountains, the trees come closer and closer to the road. I'm heading west, more or less. Well, an interesting story was published the other day in local media about RV guys that they live in their RVs, right? But they don't want to pay for parking, and they want to live year round, so they don't have any apartments or houses, but there's like 5 or 6 families, some like just one guy, or others is husband and wife. And what they do is they found a street, you know, pretty much in the suburb of Calgary. I think it was northeast, and they just park there. It's like a dead end or something, and they just park there. And then parking enforcement of Calgary started harassing them, but they have nowhere to live. You know, they say, tell us where to go, and they say they don't have any solutions for us. So they say they don't have any solutions for us. What? Just saw a sign that says no firearms use. What does that mean? So I just drove 100 kilometers. Interesting. It's probably because I was afraid of this. I was afraid that there might be too many people in there. So basically this is the road that it's still municipal road, but it leads to the public land, and then there'll be a gate. And this road is awful. In the summer it's very bumpy, so I don't actually like coming here in the summer because it's so bumpy. I didn't feel it this bad when I was renting like a SUV with big wheels, you know, like 20-inch, 22-inch, but on this Trailhawk came with 17-inch wheels, and I think it has something to do with that, but I really cannot drive like it. Right now I'm driving 19 kilometers an hour and my teeth are falling out. Well, since I'm here, I'm just gonna drive over there because it's only like a couple of kilometers on this ugly road, and then there's inside, at least we'll we'll do a video, we'll see what's happening. But if that's true, that electronic sign says no firearms use, then I won't be able to see, like this guy. He's okay, he's doing 40. So man, so what I'm gonna do with all these bottles of pop, you know? What I have, like 12, 15 bottles. But I don't know, people don't care, they just... But anyway, normally this is where you go, and some guy asked me, where exactly is it? I said, well, send me $100 and I can be your guide. And the guy disappeared. But I don't know what's so bad about that idea, because it took me like 3 months to find this. I had to make endless phone calls to Alberta parks where nobody knows anything, and then finally I found a guy who was actually responsible for this particular piece of public land, you know. And he told me, and he said, hey, this road is pretty good actually. It's municipal, so you can go even in your, you know, regular car. And I'm still laughing inside, because this is bad, but once you enter, it's even worse. So no way, especially in winter, you can go in a car with small wheels, like, you know, a regular car. You'll get stuck there, because they have potholes like this at the entrance. And so, you know, like here, we're all about hiking, and if you go to online and you want to find like some nice hike, it'll be like a guided hike. So there'll be a guide, and I think once I enrolled into one, and I think I paid like, I forgot, it was like $50 or $100 or something like that, and I could not find them, so I ended up doing the hike by myself. Never got any refund, nothing. And then people told me where to find all the info about hikes. There's a free website where you can see, you know, the difficulty, the location, how to get there, do you have to pay for parking or not. And but yeah, so that story was funny, because one of the guys they interviewed, the guy in an RV, he was a former trucker, and he said his pension from Canadian government is $800 a month. And they didn't mention his age, but basically he's retired, so he has nowhere to go, and all he has is this old RV, basically a bus slash, you know, bedroom on wheels. But so it's interesting, so people basically live on the street, and the only difference between them and bums is that they have the RV, you know. But of course, you know, they have, well, where do they get water, you know, like well, I guess they buy water for the, you know, to do the dishes and for drinking and for showers. So inside is pretty comfortable, right? So it can be, it's like your mini home. But again, the authorities in Calgary don't like it that people just park their RVs anywhere whenever they want. I think the bylaw or the rule is that you can only park it on the street where you live, where you have your apartment or you have your home, but you cannot just park it on the street and live there. But actually, something like this I also saw in Colorado. When I was in Denver, I was staying at this hotel, and then 3 months later I came back because I was delivering a load, and I went to the same hotel because the price was good, and I already knew the area near the airport. I forgot the name, but it was a nice hotel, but not very expensive. And in the back there, I parked my truck behind there because, again, there's no signs, parking is allowed. But I saw like a, you know, not an RV, but one of those things they put on the pickup truck, right? Like a mini RV. And that guy was there 3 months ago, and then he was still there when I came this time, you know. So basically he just lived in that vehicle parking on the street, you know, not attracting any attention. So, and so this guy, the trucker, right? The trucker, so look at this guy. Wow. I'm doing 18 kilometers an hour, boys and girls, here. Like these guys, I guess, well, it's, you know, off-road suspension probably, right? Oh, by the way, I was reading my service manual because I just did the oil change, and they put next, now it's, I have 30,000 kilometers, and I think when I was doing the oil change it was like 29.9, and they wrote here next oil change 34.6, basically 5,000 kilometers. So I go to my service manual to check, and it says 10,000 miles or 16,000 kilometers or once a year. You know, even though it's a turbo, but all you gotta do is once a year, but I do it twice a year. And the guy showed me a sample of my differential oil. They were saying it's getting a bit dark. I said, okay, maybe I'll change it next time. And so I looked at my book, and actually it shows that 30 kilometers is a kind of like that's when you have to do a couple of serious things, and like basically suspension, brakes, front end. And here we go, Ghost Public Land. Okay, information at the kiosk. Okay, let's go see what they say. That's what they meant, the kiosk. So let's go check about the firearms, see what they say. Usually over here there's full of tents, full of RV people. I don't know how they get there. Yeah, I took a picture of that. There's a map there. It says temporary firearms restrictions, but it's very unclear. You know, it shows the river. Like this is the worst. In winter, it's awful. Man, look at this. They did something here. In winter, we had to go through these trees because over here there was like, you know, potholes, you know, in ice, like I swear 2 feet. And so we had to go like this through the trees over there, and now they covered that in dirt. But man, so it looks like they, yeah, it was like this, even worse, but covered in, you know, ice and snow and potholes you would not believe. But I've been here probably now, what, like 3-4 times. And as I was staring at that map, 2 more guys showed up, and I asked them if they knew where we were on the map, and they were not sure either. And I said, well, I'm gonna go to the same area where I usually go. That's pretty much the only place here. It's like an open area with a hill in the back, you know, to stop the bullets, which is like perfect. And I said, if I see other people shooting, then that means it's okay. Because on the map, yeah, it's not the entire thing. It's just the part near the river. But there should be some signs there, right? So, but yeah, I was afraid of this. I was afraid that in the summer it will be, wow. In the summer there's too many people here. Yeah, once in winter, oh, look at this. This is awful. That's why I'm saying it's best if anybody comes here, just guys, heed my advice and better come here in winter, because then in winter it's much smoother, because the snow, you know, evens everything out. But summer, man, then I don't know, these guys are flying by. I don't want to get a crack in the windshield, even though, you know, I have insurance. Yeah, there's a river down there. I remember first time I was here, I had no clue. I knew how to find it. that guy officer at Alberta Parks told me, but I had no idea where inside you can shoot, right? And so I was driving here first time and just looking and looking, you know, like, where do you go? And I stopped at one spot and there was like a Jeep Wrangler behind me with, like, I don't know, huge wheels, you know, like basically dressed up for off-road. And there was a guy and a girl in there, and I pulled to the right to let them pass, and to my surprise they stopped there. They stopped next to me and they opened the window, and the guy says, yeah, I see, that's the river over there. And the guy says, are you lost? Oh, this place is always scary here. I'm guessing there's water coming down, so they keep putting these piles in. I bet a couple of guys fell off in there. And so yeah, first time it was real scary. You know, this road, man, I had no idea where I was going, and then it's like hostile territory, I'm telling you. But you know, I don't have any off-road experience, so I never did something like this before back then. And so that guy opened the window and he says, you know, what are you looking for? And I said, I'm just here to, you know, shoot some targets. So I'm looking for a spot where it's safe to discharge a firearm, you know, to use the official lingo. And they told me, oh yeah, we know, there's guys shooting over there all the time. So they give me some directions. He says, keep going, you'll see it. You'll see an area that's suitable for shooting. And sure enough, I found it on my first trip, and it was a complete success. Yeah, I didn't want to record this part, but since it looks like I may not be even shooting today, so I wanted to revisit this. I showed this road before a few times in winter and then in the summer. I think I was here once in the summer, and then I swore off. I said, that's it, I'm never coming back before snow because the road is so bad. And so yeah, I was talking about my service manual, and at 30,000 kilometers you're supposed to do some checking, which I did not do because I was at a quick lube place. But instead of doing oil changes every 10,000 miles or 16,000 kilometers, I decided my next oil change will be at 40,000. So now it's 30,000 kilometers. So I'm gonna do oil changes every 10,000 kilometers, or what, like 6,000 miles, because 10,000 miles seems a bit too much. And so next oil change, I'll go to the dealer. I'll go to the Chrysler dealer and I'll just write a note saying, you know, copy, and I'll copy from the okay, this is, I think this is where I stopped that time when the guy offered me to help. And so yeah, I'll copy what they were saying in the book there about front end and suspension and brakes. There's like 4 or 5 lines in there of text, what you're supposed to check. Yeah, this is one of the areas where people usually shoot. You go down there, there's an open field, but they even invested in a second sign like this. The first one was at the entrance. Look at this, the size of this thing. Well, it's hard to see, but basically it says no firearms use. But it's clear from the road. But and then they have this. Oh, same T-post I'm using. Like I'm using these to hang my targets. You see over here? But they're not telling you where you are. Like, how do I know where I am? Maybe we're here somewhere. No, the river is over there. So this is definitely north. Yeah, that's mountains over there. That's west. So Transalta Road. So basically, I was thinking, if you get in here, that's where you can shoot, you know. But Probably there's no access in there. Temporary firearms restrictions. Firearms use prohibited within the restriction area. Hunting as defined in the Wildlife Act is permitted. Closure due to unsafe use of firearms. Dates are subject to change. Oh, August. Effective August 29. See, this is Alberta Parks. Restricted areas. Oh, again, so I just drove 85 kilometers for nothing. And there's a road there. Okay, let's go see. I hope nobody's gonna arrest me just for walking. Yeah, I usually shoot on the other side of these trees. There's another open field. But last time I was here, I was sitting up right there with the trees over there. No motorized vehicles. Oh yeah, and this was not here before. And before we would enter like this. But it's a very bad access here. See, there's potholes and stuff. But yeah, this is, you know, perfect area. Last time the guy was here, he even brought like a table, a chair, and there's a hill in there, right? See, that's the perfect place to shoot because there's a hill and there's no path, there's no what shall I call them, hiking. And as I can see in the back there, people left like a plywood piece where they would attach their targets. You know, this is public land, but I'm not sure what this all is. Like beavers or something, like all this. Looks so ugly. But yeah, basically, yeah, you cannot enter here, right? So technically, if you drive on this road away from the river to the north, you should be okay to shoot, but they said no motor vehicles. Yeah, this was where I was last time, and there were two guys next to me, so I was here. But look at this. Who made all this stuff? It's like they were digging for gold or something here. So yeah, I was shooting off, my targets were over there, but it's a mess, man. Maybe that's why they prohibited this, because more people learned about this, and there's so much garbage. I'm guessing probably they don't even clean up their, yeah, you see, they don't even clean up their cartridges. You know, that's what happens. People behave like pigs, and then the government swoops in and says, okay, no firearms. I was cleaning up everything after myself. Look at this. See? Nobody's cleaning up. They were shooting with this 5.6. I was always cleaning up after myself. And I remember two guys were shooting next to me. They had some 5.56 and they had that target over there. But yeah, now it looks awful. And I don't hear anybody shooting. So definitely a no-no. But there's a perfectly good road here, but they don't want vehicles in here. But I'm pretty sure if you go towards those trees in there, it's legal. But I don't want to carry all the stuff, you know. I have in my Jeep, I have, you know, the gun. Targets are very heavy, those steel heavy duty targets. I have a bunch of jugs of water. But yeah, what's funny, it did not look like this when I was here last time. It was open field, everything was nice and clean. But I guess people behave like pigs, and this is what happens. Guys, if you shoot, clean up after yourself, you know. That's the only condition that they put down. Stay away from people, away from hiking paths and biking trails. Have a hill in the background like this. You know, this would perfect. But no, but honestly, what the heck happened here? Aliens? Like, why is the dirt turned up? Yeah, see, nobody's cleaning up anything. 7.5, I guess that's the bird shot. Shit. Cartridges everywhere. Man, This is unbelievable. This looks like a war zone. But who did this, I wonder? Is it? People are pigs. Who did this? Yeah. There was one good spot and now it's gone, because you see the end says firearms restrictions. It says to be determined, so they can keep it here because people don't know how to behave without supervision. Well, at least I got out to the fresh air. I showed you guys the yeah, remember we're here. Everybody was driving here because, you know, how do you carry all your supplies? Like, this is bullshit. And so over there was a huge pothole, like in winter, I think. And here you have to navigate through these very high stumps. And I think when I was going here, yeah, like you're gonna hit one or the other, because you see they're everywhere here. It's like a minefield. You have to go like this, and I think, oh yeah, there was another one here. Oh yeah, I remember. So it was pretty much impossible to get in, see, because they're so close. And finally somebody cut it down. Oh, I see some people went through this. No, but that's too narrow. Basically, I think what you need here, I need a bike. You know what I want to do? Once I buy that Suburban or Tahoe or whatever, or Yukon, those things have much more towing capacity. Now look at my Jeep. I like the stance. It stands like one guy says your Jeep looks like a moon. Full of craters. Well, I did not do it, right, guys? Don't blame me. Like, you can see it especially clear in the sun and all this, but the left side is okay. The left side, I think I have only one somewhere here, the very back, and then this and these over here. This is okay, not broken. That part needs to be replaced. This part, no, this part is okay. This part, but the right side is pretty bad. But so yeah, I was thinking, hold on, let me put this on my head. I was thinking, once I have the big SUV, I really want to get it, because yeah, sometimes there's not enough space, you know, even like for Uber, not enough space. But hear how quiet it is. Yeah, you cannot hear anything. Oh, bikes. But again, they say no motorized vehicles, which means I guess I need... Better close the door. There's a bunch of bugs in here. And so, yeah, once I get the big vehicle, that would be great for taxi, because it has so much trunk space, and then you can put the seats down flat, even for more room. Whereas you see here, mine is also okay, but this would only work if there's like one guy, one passenger with a lot of bags, you know. So that's my gun in there. Man, I got so many jugs of that stuff, like $1.45. Man. Anyway, so this was my Sunday adventure. But yeah, my thoughts are everywhere. So I started talking about SUV, and then I veered away. But no, the big SUV. I was checking the prices the other day, so They're expensive, but you can get them with a diesel engine. You know, those things will last forever. Okay, do we have any stops in here? No. And so yeah, that SUV has a much higher towing capacity than this. Like, this Jeep is only rated for 2,000 pounds, and that's the weight of the trailer and the load. So basically, when I was buying this, I was hoping to make some money, you know, maybe towing people's boats. Just, you know, like on the weekends, sometimes people need a boat or RV to be towed. I remember we were asked to do this when I was in the towing industry back in what was it, 2001, 2002, when I just came to Canada. And sometimes people would say, hey, can you guys move my boat? There's a boat show and my car is overheating, it's in the shop, so I just need you to send you know, tow truck, kind of like what I drive, that 5-ton Freightliner, and drag the boat on its trailer on the deck, secure it, and then just, you know, winch it down once you're there. I think the show was in Gravenhurst, Ontario. Oh, and actually the guy was following me in his car, but he said there was something wrong with his I don't know, either transmission or cooling system, so he couldn't tow the boat, but he could drive the car empty, like without the trailer. But then I got this one and I discovered that 2000 is too low of a rating, because I actually went to Bass Pro Shops and I asked him, I said, can you guys show me, like, I need to know the weight. What's the weight of the boat and the trailer? And I said, is there anything less than 2,000 pounds? And the guy almost laughed at me. He says, well, I said, how much is this one, you know, in terms of weight? And even medium-sized boats were with a trailer were almost 10,000 pounds, you know. And so if I can get a bigger vehicle, I could definitely tow people's boats and RVs, you know, make a couple of bucks. But also I was thinking of maybe buying a off-road bike. You know, I never rode that's one thing I never did, and I cannot say that I planned to do it when I was a kid. You know, like, you have a list of things you want to do when you grow up, like who you want to be, right? So for some reason I never was a big fan of bikes. I don't know. Went to a couple of races on these off-road bikes, and it was amazing to watch them, you know, fly through the air when they jump into the air on a hill. But the cool thing I like is that there's no licensing, right? As long as you operate them on off-road, you don't need a license plate, you don't need to go to school, you don't need a motorcycle license. I don't believe there's any insurance, right? Because it's an off-road vehicle. But of course, for that one you need a trailer, or you need a pickup truck, where I see people put them in the bed, you know. And I was at this store that sells bikes and different what they call them, ATVs. And I saw these off-road bikes, and actually I talked to a sales guy. I said, I was just curious because I had no idea. I said, how expensive are they? And he said a brand new one was somewhere under 10,000 bucks, like 9,000, 10,000. You can buy a really good one, you know. So these people are idiots, you know. You want to pass me, pass me. I don't want to get my windshield broken. Okay, I have my recirculation on because I don't want to breathe this. I don't like people hanging on my bumper. But yeah, this road, I don't want to just kill my Jeep, you know. Like, I'm not complaining, I'm just stating the fact. The road is bad. And Captain Sergei, I'm a good driver. Remember the Rain Man? Yes, I am a good driver. And I remember I even found cartridges near the river, like where I just stopped to let the guy pass, and there's like yeah, like this area, and there's nobody below there, you know, because it's all trees on the river. And so I saw some people were shooting because there were cartridges on the ground. I guess they would have targets on the very edge of the bank or something. And quite often you would see RVs here and people just, you know, drinking beer, doing barbecues. But yeah, I cannot believe what a huge difference. I think, what is it, like 8 months, 10 months last time I was here, like that area that I was just showing you guys, it's so messy now. Like, maybe I'm guilty because I did a few videos about this, right? But I never showed the exact location. I just showed, you know, how I was driving inside. That's why I didn't want to tell that guy that asked me, oh, how do you get there? I said, give me $100, because it's not easy to find this place. And somehow a bunch of people started abusing this privilege, and you saw how much nobody's cleaning up after themselves. You know, how hot is it? Maybe the Alberta parks, you know, dug up the, dirt like that on purpose to prevent people from setting up their targets. Well, if somebody has any ideas, you guys let me know in the comments, okay? Because I'm curious, like, why would they made it look like this? Maybe it was some animals, I don't know. Or maybe some, I wouldn't say treasure. People were looking for treasure. That's why they left those marks in the ground. But my battery died, so good thing I have a replacement battery. I have a second battery for my GoPro. And instead of giving up and leaving, I found another entrance to the public land where all those pickup trucks are parked. But that one is, it's not for cars. It's only for like bikes, like snow vehicles, and all these. That entry is marked, they're color coded on the map. And there was another map over there, but I saw guys coming from here, so now we are far away from the river, and I see guys there, they're unloading off-road bikes. So yeah, that would be awesome. So they have a small pickup truck, looks like a GMC, and in the bed they have 2 off-road bikes behind that RV. Oh, and this road is much better actually. Like the previous one is a bit bumpy, but people here are nuts, you know, like I guess that can be fun. I want to try it on the way back. I see over here they prohibit off-highway vehicles, so you, like, let's say that off-road bike, you cannot drive here. But now I'm inside the public land zone. I've never been here before, so I'm pretty sure over here it's legal to shoot firearms, but first I gotta find something. So hopefully if I can find other people shooting, you know, if I could hear. And we have a little bit of a no internet. I cannot see anything. People are nuts over here. There's a biker behind me. Yeah, go. Go faster. Go faster. What is that? Okay, there's a guy here. Yeah, I found the road that I wanted to take. This one was shown as kind of like purple, which means all vehicles. And there was a father and son. They had 2 off-road bikes, and I briefly talked to them. I said, do you guys know if, like, is it okay to go here with a regular vehicle? And the guy said, well, it's wide enough, but he says, I'm not sure how bad the you know, the holes are. And so I see them over there, a guy and his kid has a small bike. So cool, like a small off-road bike, smaller size for kids. And I see people driving there all the time. So yeah, I see, unless you, without knowing something, so you have to ask people, you know, like, where do you go? Maybe I'll go see how bad this is, you know. If I see it's really bad, I'll just, yeah, but this is really kind of like, you know, now we are off-roading. Like, look at the potholes over there, man. Yeah, and it's getting deep. Like here, the yeah, I don't think I want to go there. So basically, there's no guarantee, you know. You can go and then you can get stuck in there. Because you bottom out or something. So yeah, they went this way. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's getting, because they have only 2 wheels, right? So, but I have to be somewhere here, but it's really deep. And that road shows for bikes straight, so. But I think somebody was shooting here. I see a big piece of cardboard over here. So somebody was, pretty sure somebody was target practicing over here. But yeah, unless you know, shoot. So basically, I gotta probably call. I gotta talk to somebody. Like last time, right? I found this, that those guys in the Jeep were pretty helpful. They gave me some pointers. Yeah, and like the ruts, you know, like are pretty bad. And you know, I am tall. Like the ground clearance is good, but it's not that tall because my wheels are only 17-inch. Yeah, see, those guys are flying. Like, this is still public land. I'm not sure, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just, since you know I wasted half a day anyway, so I'm just gonna drive that way and see. Maybe there'll be like an open area with a hill where you can. I still have hopes that this trip was not entirely, you know, useless, because I've never been to this part, you know. So maybe, what do you guys think? Maybe we shall try driving like these other guys. Oh, it's actually pretty smooth. Like you have these little dirt roads going some, oh wait a second over there. shooting over here? Let's go ask him. Well, now we're getting somewhere. Talked to a guy. There was a guy there. Looks like military or police. But he already set up his targets. He says, yeah, it's okay to shoot here. But he says, I'm already set up. So, and I said, so you think it's too small for both of us? He said, yeah, but he says, if you keep driving, you'll see lots of spots like this. He says, people are shooting here all over the place. And actually, he told me that the reason that area was closed, where, you know, my normal spot, is because there was an incident there. He says, somebody was not practicing, you know, safe shooting, and some kid got injured, you know. So basically, yeah, somewhere here, he says, you'll hear, that guy says, you'll hear people shooting. It's okay. Basically, as long as you're on this side, you know, away from the river, it's perfectly fine. So now I just need to find, gotta find me a spot. So this is gonna be my new spot. Of course, it's much further down, but the road is better. Well, almost. Like that guy, there was kind of like an opening, and it was, I don't know, like an old swamp or something that dried up. See, like this area over here, going someplace. But I want to find something open where I can, you know, park my Jeep, just like that guy over there. He parked his truck, and he set up his table over there with the supplies, with everything. By the way, he was drinking my favorite non-alcoholic beer. I think it's called Sober Carpenter. Well, I found it. I remember one guy told me about this. He says this right next to that thing over there, and I can see this is clearly, of course, it's a mess. Nobody takes care of this, but it's pretty cool. I can set up my table over there somewhere. Yeah, people even go in there, but I don't want to be too far. Yeah, somewhere there, maybe 10-15 meters away, I can set up my table with all these jugs, and we'll go from there. So that's one thing I realized, boys and girls, is that I saw this. Like first time I was shooting, out of what was it, 6 targets, I only hit this metal disc from the second attempt. And when I came close, I saw this, and so I realized that my bullets were, oh wait, sorry about that. I realized that the bullets were slugs were hitting too low, you know. And so next round I started aiming here. Instead, before I was aiming in the center, so now I started aiming right here, and I started hitting. And then the bottle, instead of aiming here, I started aiming at the cap, and I was hitting, you know. And so then I grabbed my screwdriver, and it's always confusing with the instructions, but you know, I don't like using those little caps there. They're so awkward. But once you take them off, this regular screwdriver, like this is windage, this is elevation. So I wanted to go, like, windage was perfect, but because I saw dirt exploding behind the bottles, but basically elevation was off. And so I took the screwdriver, and here I carry this with me. So it says adjust the elevation turret counterclockwise to move the point of impact up, which like sounds a bit confusing. Like, so what do you do with the red dot? Like, does the red dot have to go up or down or whatever? But because I knew that my point of impact was too low, so I need to raise it, so I just did a few clicks with the screwdriver over there, and now I'm pretty much hitting every time. So you see, it was pretty spectacular explosion. So let me set it up again. But I think I only have 2 slugs left, so now it'll be way easier, because now after this I'll be shooting with 00 buckshot. So that thing will destroy that table for sure. But yeah, so I use, by the way, I have a little laser you know, thing that helps you to adjust your red dot. So I use that at home, but you know, it all depends on the distance. I think I was using a longer distance. No, I don't know, for some reason. Why is the, actually no, it's not gonna work. So basically this was set up because it was hitting the table instead of the target. This was probably good to hit like where that green jug is, but you know, the farther away it has to go up a little bit, right? But now this is perfect. This is what I want. Like this, probably, I don't know, 10 meters. That's good enough, you know, because otherwise you need a lot of open space. And I'm surprised there's nobody here. Like one guy, I saw a truck kind of like paused on the road looking at me, but they decided not to come in. They went further. But so yeah, that's my setup. So I'm using that camera and my phone to shoot me. So this is my gun. Like I said, looks exactly like Benelli M4, except instead of $2,500 Canadian, it cost $600 now. I think I got it Christmas sale. I think it was like $350. Telescopic stock. Look at this. You can adjust your chin, you know, the height over here. This collapses, so very easy to transport. And yeah, these are expensive. I wanted to go a long time shooting, so I didn't bother ordering slugs online, because I had lots of buckshot, but I ran out of slugs because I like using them, because, you know, that's what I meant. Dual usage of the shotgun, slugs and buckshot, so it acts as a rifle and a shotgun. I love this. But now I'm letting the gun to cool down a little bit. And yeah, that's why I left this one. Also, if you remember, I had the Mossberg before, right? That pump action, no, sorry, pump action with pump action with a magazine. I really got tired of that one, and magazines were super expensive, but I got super lucky. A guy bought everything. He bought the Mossberg because it was already customized with a red dot, and I think I changed the stock, and he bought all the mags. You know, I made a lot of money. Basically, I didn't lose any money on selling the Mossberg. I did lose a couple of bucks on the Ruger, but again, I was in a bind. So this is all I need, just one gun, simple, semi-auto. And the booklet says it can only take 5 cartridges, but then the secret is, so you put them in here like normal pump action, and then when after 5 you cannot push any more cartridges in, You just pull this out and you put the cartridge directly into the chamber, and it's already ready to go. Okay, the gun cooled down a little bit. Talk to the guys. Now I have some neighbors here. They have some cool guns. They even have M1 Garand. Wow, they have some pistols, but of course you cannot use pistols here because of the restrictions on pistols. So loading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we do like this. Now it's ready to shoot. Yeah, now the gun shoots pretty accurately actually. Once I adjusted slightly the red dot. Yeah, it's not easy hitting those flying cans. Oh wow. I already shot 5, 10, 15, 20, 45. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this. I have another box of 25, but I don't want to shoot the entire thing. My neighbors over here are shooting all kinds of guns, and I'm from Russia, so this is a Russian SKS, a famous
motorized
sniper rifle, right?
Yeah, it's just
no, they use them for sniping, I think.
Do they?
I think.
Sporterized, right? So this normally comes with wood.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
and that's the mag, right?
Yeah, 10 round, and this is what you buy aftermarket.
It can hold 10 rounds? Wow.
10
and this
rounds,
is the M1, right?
That's the M1 Garand here.
Man, this is cool. And that's why you, oh, you load from the top, I think.
Yeah, skipper clip.
Yeah, there's like a mag, right?
No, wherever I put. Oh, right
Like
here.
a small mag, yeah. Like I saw them in movies.
Would you like to shoot it?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Are you sure?
No,
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, I know, but I don't like these. These are very hard on your shoulder, you know?
It's actually really gentle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What caliber? What caliber is it?
30-06.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay.
Turkey also.
Oh, cool.
Turkey.
Yeah, turkey guns are not bad.
They are good.
Thank you. Yeah, once I took that Ukrainian guy that I used to know when I was a young man. I took him to a gun club and showed him we were shooting a shotgun. I think I had the Ruger as well, but this guy, like, he's so tired with life. He was saying, "And you like this?" Yeah, I feel like we're kind of like brothers in arms. We gotta start. Sir, we're gonna be shooting, okay? We're gonna be shooting. So yeah, when I started shooting, I want them so they can put their ear protection on. You guys want to put your ears on? Mine is not too loud, but you don't have your...
Go ahead.
No, it's... All right, I only have 6.